So with the new Godzilla X Kong, A New Empire now out, let's look back at the Monsterverse and let's rank them. So this is going to include the first Godzilla. This is going to include Godzilla King of the Monsters. This is going to have Skull Island, Kong vs. Godzilla, the new Godzilla X Kong movie, and Monarch as well. So let's get to it. So coming in at number 6 is Godzilla King of the Monsters. This is the one that I least like out of all of them. Look, man, I was really hyped for this movie. Like, really hyped. King Ghidorah, bro. You're bringing King Ghidorah. Here we go. Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. I was super excited for that match. I was super excited for them to introduce new Titans as well. But the problem with this movie is there's so much screen time on the human elements and the human side that I just did not care about. The human characters are not fun. And what should have been this insane, awesome, spectacular, exciting battle of the ages between King Ghidorah and Godzilla turned out to be this slow, boring fest of just human characters who are so unlikable that you just want King Ghidorah to finish off. Let's be real, we're like, yo, I wouldn't mind if you guys just got caught in the middle of this battle and just died, because they're just so unlikable. There's nothing there to like about them. It's the one thing that really just showed me exactly where we were going was when the Apex go up and just explain their whole entire plan. Like this whole 5-minute thing of them just explaining, this is what we're doing, this is how it's going, this is why, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there like, really? We really need to do that? Like, I kind of get the idea. You want to open this because you want to do, like, I was just like, why? And then when we did get the battle, they always take the shots away from the battle and they focus on the humans while it's happening in the background. And I'm sitting there like, why are we doing that? I want to see King Ghidorah and I want to see Godzilla fight. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to watch humans running around while they're fighting in the background. So to me, that was a bit of a shame because you had some really good shots in here as well, especially with King Ghidorah on the volcano with the wings and everything. Like, it looked, this should have been like the best movie in the Monsterverse. Like, let's be real, this should have been the best movie. But unfortunately, it falls flat on so many things and it just becomes this snooze fest because you're just focusing on human characters and the pacing is awful. And then when you finally get some action, you're sitting down with the humans while that's going on in the background. It's a shame. So that's why I've got this one in at number 6. Number 5 is Godzilla 2014. Now, like many people say, I agree with them. This is a Godzilla movie that doesn't have Godzilla in it. Yeah, look, the problem with this movie is we literally follow humans. Again, this was the first movie. This is where they made their first mistake. They followed the humans. Now, I don't mind that because Godzilla Minus One, fantastic movie. Like, that is how you do a human element story with Godzilla in it. But this movie, the problem was it didn't have that story. It didn't have characters that you were like, yes, I want to be with these characters. I want to follow this story. You know, Godzilla's like this menace and that. None of that was there. And then when Godzilla shows up, it's like, okay, here we go. Godzilla's about to fight the Muto and cut away to a apartment. And we'll watch it on the little screen on the TV there. And I'm sitting there like, why? Why are we doing that? Why do I have to do that? And we just follow this journey. We don't actually see Godzilla really do anything. And that's the problem. Again, it's the same as King of the Monsters had. This was the first one. And you would have thought they would have learnt from it. But they didn't. Where you're sitting there and Godzilla's about to fight. But no, we're focusing on the characters, the human characters there, while Godzilla's fighting in the background. And you don't really see anything. It's frustrating because dude, the Halo jump is one of the best looking scenes where they're coming down with the red, just Godzilla's there. It looked freaking spectacular. But again, they just took away from what this movie could have been. If they had just fixed the human characters, maybe they could have got away with it, but they didn't do that. And now we know what the Monsterverse is and what it should be. This movie just falls very, very flat. It's a bore fest again, with unlikable characters where you're kind of like, I just want to see Godzilla fight this Muto. Instead, we're always, every single time he's about to fight, we cut away to something else. Frustrating movie. That's why Godzilla comes in at number 5. Number 4 is Godzilla X Kong, A New Empire. I absolutely love this movie. I really do. And look, from here on, I like everything from the Monsterverse. I really enjoy it and know what it is and loved it. This is a movie that I absolutely love. look, the Titans battling, that's what we come to see. That's what I got in this movie. They were just so much fun. Scar King, we know he's a fraud, absolute fraud. I don't care what anyone says. Anyone that backs that dude, bro, he is the biggest fraud alive. Absolute fraud. I love what they did with Godzilla and what they did with Kong, how they give Kong an actual story and make you, resonate with this character. They really do. And then obviously, he gets a mini friend as well. And I love that dynamic. I love the lore, the world building, what they did with Hollow Earth. The fights were great. Godzilla goes on a rampage throughout here and just beats people up. I love that they decreased the time with the human characters. Didn't get rid of them completely, which, I mean, you kind of can't, but I guess. But they're much more bearable, and there's a bit of fun going on with those characters. Obviously, it's not the deepest story or anything like that, but look, this movie is a lot of fun, and it's gorgeous. The fights were great. There's some really, really good shots. And yeah, I can't complain because it's exactly what I thought it was going to be and exactly what I expected it to be and what I wanted it to be. Titans fighting each other, and that's what they really go in on, is fighting, Titans, bloodshed. That's what we come to see. That's why I've got it in at number 4. Number 3 is Monarch. Now, this is Legacy of the Monsters. This is the TV show on Apple TV, and I really enjoyed this show. Now, there are some episodes that I didn't like, and there's also storylines that I didn't like. Like, the present storyline at the start of the whole entire show, wasn't a big fan of. The past, however, I thought that was the strongest part, and really seeing how Monarch became what it is today in the Monsterverse was really, really awesome. To see Shaw, to see Bill Randa, obviously we see him in Skull Island as well. When they go back, and with Kiko, when they go back and they show you how that all happened and how the Titans came to be, that was all great. Obviously, this wasn't really focused on the monsters themselves. There were some cool Titans in there. Godzilla made an appearance in here as well. But it wasn't about them fighting. It was all about the story and the characters. And I thought this was the best that the Monsterverse has done when it comes to human characters. Because the trio of the cast from the past, brilliant. Loved it. I was so intrigued by that. The present got better as we got into the final episodes, and they really tied a bow on the finale and landed the finale for me. We also got to see the rise of Apex here and how that came about. But overall, Monarch, I really enjoyed. I thought this was, they took a gamble. They went away from the Titans smashing each other and tried to do a deeper story. And I think that worked. And I really, really enjoyed it. So for me, yeah, comes in at number 3. Number 2 is Kong Skull Island. I really like this movie. And look, if you're going to do a movie that isn't Godzilla Minus One, but in the Monsterverse that has good human characters, this is the one for me. This, to me, had the strongest human characters out of all the Monsterverse. And I thought the dynamic was great. And the story behind it, the lore behind Skull Island, really enjoyed. Obviously, it's still got the Titan smashing that we love. Kong is an absolute beast in this movie. Like, he fights those skull crushers, skull crawlers, whatever they're called. That is epic. You sense the danger. But what I love is how they did Samuel L. Jackson's character. Because he is a pivotal part of, having the backlash against Kong. And I love that. How, it shows how different people think different things. Where some people are like, we need to keep Kong because he's the savior for these people now. We can't hurt him. But then Samuel L. Jackson's character's like, no, he killed my man. I've got to kill him. He has to go. So I love that dynamic that they were building. Obviously, Brie Larson's fantastic in here. And then you got Tom Hiddleston, who's fantastic. Their chemistry, their dynamic, really enjoyed it. So when we pan to the human characters here in Skull Island, I'm actually engaged in it and enjoying it because of the dynamic and the characters that are doing. Then you throw in John C. Reilly's character, who's been there for so long, and he's like the sort of the fish out of the water one. He's like, oh, I'm seeing people in that. And then I love that. But I also love the battles. I thought this has some of the best shots in the Monsterverse, period. There are some really gorgeous looking shots. Yeah, so for me, Kong Skull Island, number 2. Number 1 is Godzilla Vs Kong. This movie is just so much fun, man. What happens when you get Kong and you get Godzilla and they fight? That's what this movie is. I freaking loved it. The battles were great, which is what I come to see. The first one that they fight on the carriers in the water was unique and awesome. Really loved it. Then you get the final battle in, I think it's like Tokyo or something like that. It's somewhere in Japan or somewhere in Asia. It's somewhere there. And this is just like, this is insane, this battle. Like, destruction everywhere. They're fighting to the death. Next thing you know, here comes Mecha Godzilla. But it's really King Ghidorah who's now taken over and is functioning this thing. And I love them. Then they team up and fight it. It's so awesome. It really is. It's so much fun. This is what I came to see. Look, the human characters, they're meh in this movie. They're okay. Obviously, we have the two different storylines, the ones that are following Kong and the ones that are following Godzilla. They give Kong a bit of a character in here as well that makes you resonate with him. And obviously, Godzilla is the man. He's him. He's like, yo, I'm going to mess everyone up. But then when you get to the conclusion and they're battling and they're fighting Mechagodzilla, it's like this awesome team-up battle that then they have mutual respect there leading into the next film. But some gorgeous shots here, some awesome fights. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one as well. That's why it is #1. So there you have it. That is my ranking of the Monsterverse. Let me know yours down in the comment section below. Where do you rank all the Monsterverse? Obviously, your list might be very different to mine, and that's okay. I'm very intrigued to hear your thoughts. Smash it down there. Smash that like button. Click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.